Well, hello, this is Rochelle and welcome to my channel. Today might be a bit of a longer video. Um, I just absolutely adored and loved playing with this kit. It is a printable by Painted Lemons, Andrea Erasmus. She is a very talented artist and brings out the most beautiful um, printables and drawings. And I've had the privilege to attend one of her classes in watercolor, and just I have the privilege of having her as a friend. And so I might be a little biased, but she's awesome. So anyways, I took these printables. That's the one thing about her printables. I can do about 17 pages more on just this one printable. Anyways, let me tell you about the art first before I chat more about the printable. You'll see me using a McDonald's spoon here because I can't find my plastic knife. So post video, I did go and get a proper palette knife. I've never had a proper palette knife. I've kind of just played with plastic normal knives before. And so this printable has this beautiful scenery, the Eiffel Tower, this little girl or young girl that's in Paris. It's got that whole feel and this street lamp and all of that. And so I've recently gotten this glitter paste, and I decided to take that through a stencil that is of a lamp and really just building a scene over here. The Eiffel Tower in the background, the lamp, the girl. And then speaking of this chapter in Ecclesiastes, which is chapter 3, Ecclesiastes, much like Lamentations, has always been very difficult for me to read because it's just, I don't know, it sounds like they're going through some things, much like us, right? And so this piece, in a very small passage, there's been songs written on it. It was a 60s song, and it is the word of God that even in secular, hippie time world had an impact. And so it speaks of there being a time for everything. And what I love about this is that, again, the Bible is real. It's not all airy fairy and all beautiful and roses and pretty, evening skies with stardust all over. It really is real. So it speaks of a time to harvest. Harvesting is hard work. It's not easy. It's putting your shoulder to the plow and getting into the ground and digging and working. And likewise, there's a time for that, but there's also a time to get out of, to get the benefit out of these things. And so it says that nothing's wasted. Nothing that we do is wasted. Even the times when we are told to keep quiet. And there is such a time. There's a time to speak up, but then there's a time to be quiet. And it's a difficult concept for us to understand, that time to be quiet. But sometimes we just need to be quiet. I've actually recently thought that maybe I should just keep a little quiet on these videos, play some of the YouTube free music in the background and just let you watch, But yeah, that is the way you deal with things, by confronting it and by, and even in that, this word says there's a time to confront and there's a time to refrain from that, to not do that. And then back to the art. Andre has, like I said, she has this beautiful printable. It has so much in it that you can do with it. And so I decided to make this tip-in with all of these like banners or street signs or signposts, whatever you would want to call them, on. And this tip-in turned out to be quite full, which is fine. That's why it's a tip-in. I can put all of the stuff on there. I still wanted to make it a double page spread, and there were still so many more elements that I wanted to use that just didn't have space on here. And so I'm going to make a different plan. I did use my brother scan and cut to cut out all the elements. I do not like fussy cutting at all. It makes my hands hurt very badly. And so I enjoyed using my scan and cut. It's the first time I used it with these many fine elements, and I still need to tweak it and get all the tutorials done so that I can know how to get the finer cut or eliminate certain lines, etc. Bottom line, I was happy with the way it cut and how quickly I could put this page together once it was all cut out. And so there's that street lamp that I was speaking about, and again just building a little scene here. It did cut out the lamp pieces individually, but that's not difficult to fix. And so this girl is traveling, and there's a clock, a beautiful clock, or a pocket watch, should I rather say, that I'm going to stick on this page. And all of these, it would pretty much then be 3 pages, because it'll be this page I'm working on right now, the tip-in, and then the actual page where the chapter is on, that has the sentiment of this piece. There's a time for everything, yes. And then it says in verse 11 of chapter 3 that God has made everything beautiful in its time. I was explaining to my daughters, I think I've said this before, how God guides us by peace, that we don't have to stress. God's got our back. Exodus 14:14 says that we need only be still. God will fight for us. We need only be still. And there's a time to just keep quiet. So even though you don't see what you want to see, maybe you don't see the justice that you think you should be seeing after you've told God about your injustice and someone mistreating you. But I want to assure you that God's working behind the scenes. He's making it all beautiful in its time. This again is reiterated in Romans 8, where God says that He makes everything work together for the good to those who are called according to His purpose, and who love Him. And so He's got this, girl. You do not need to worry your little head about how, when, where, why. It really is that God has got this in His time. So that takes the stress out of things. And I wish I could tell my accountant brain, control freak side this when I feel like I'm out of control. I need to learn that God is not out of control. God is still very much in control. And He's got this. And we can rest in that. I'm not saying take it easy and, just live and let live, and I don't know, all the sayings about pretty much doing nothing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're called to do what we should do, but we don't have to stress about it. So I want to encourage you today to not stress about it, to leave it in His hands, to know that He makes it beautiful in His time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.